What is going on, everybody? Hey, this is your boy JC from JC Eagles Talk, and this is my last Chargers guest of the week, and we're about to get some inside scoop on the Chargers. So the first thing that I want to know is first introduce yourself, and then I want to know about the injuries that are going on with the Chargers right now.
All right. Well, hey, my name is David Drogemeyer. I am one of the hosts of the Locked On Chargers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, and we do shows about the Chargers 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. We are constantly cranking out content. And as far as the Chargers injuries are concerned, it's highly concentrated in the secondary. Unfortunately for this game, the Chargers are going to be without both of their starting corners on the outside.
Yes.
Asante Samuel Jr. is out with a concussion. He is still in the concussion protocol. And Michael Davis, who is their other corner on the other side, he is dealing with a hamstring injury, and he has already been ruled out for this game. They also have a safety in the Alohi Gilman, who's kind of a backup safety. He's doubtful for the game. He's going to be more of a game time decision. But other than that, Kenneth Murray is on IR. He was activated, but it does not look like he is going to be playing in this football game. The way Brandon Staley had talked about him in the press conference, it seems like he's getting closer, but it's not going to be this week. But that's pretty much what the injuries look like. On your guys' side, I mean, it looked like it was a mile long, at least on Thursday.
Look at that. Hey,
yeah,
you know what?
See?
Hey, it's all full practices, baby.
Sure. But in the middle of the week, a lot of limited participant, man.
You know why? Because like the Eagles are an older team. Like the Eagles are an old team, especially on the offensive line. Besides Amadi Yada, and
Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, Dickerson and stuff like that. But for like overall, like they do this every week. They put people like no practice.
Yeah.
And then you see like they make up an ankle injury for rest. You know what I mean? So yeah, but hey, this is our Friday report. I mean, I haven't heard anything yet. But J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the savior of the Philadelphia Eagles, he did not practice. But hey, we will be okay without J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So, but this is Friday injury report, and as you can see, that everybody was a full participant. You know what I mean? And some people that was like did not practice was probably on the trade block, like Fletcher Cox. He was on the trade block. We could not get what we wanted for him, so we kept him.
There's a lot of dead cap. If you guys would have traded him, you would have had to keep $10 million on your books, and that's hard to move.
Not only this year, but for other years. You know what I mean? So for some odd reason, I'm a little bit pissed off about it. But hey, I'm an Eagles fan. We are not loyal to no Eagles. Like, believe me, like we got rid of some greats. Sure. Like we literally got rid of some greats, and like when we got rid of Brian Dawkins, I was done. I was like, you know what? Everybody else, hey, is this dismissible? Y'all could go. You know what I mean? And I won't have a hurt feeling about it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But so far, just going into this game, we are healthy. And we're about to see what's going on. So the first thing that I want to know is this. All right. So talk to me about the Chargers season so far. Did you anticipate them, first of all, just starting 4-1, and now they're 4-3. And what was your record prediction coming into this season?
Yeah, so, I mean, looking at this season, I did have some high expectations for the Chargers because they had a lot of weapons on offense. They had a much improved offensive line. On defense, they had a new defensive scheme that was going to really keep a roof over the defense, not allow those explosive plays, allow a little bit more on the running side than I really expected or wanted up to this point, but it wasn't really a focus of this defense. They were going to try to put their pieces and move their pieces around to get them as many one-on-one matchups on the defensive side as they possibly could. And, so far, I can't say I expected them to start 4-1. I will say, that's a really tough stretch that they started the season with, going up against the Chiefs and going up against the Browns and the Ravens and the Patriots. I mean, those first 7 games were an absolute gauntlet. So to see them 4-1 after those first 5 games, I was very pleasantly surprised. I mean, Brandon Staley, a breath of fresh air, just a really intelligent guy, a guy who is best friends with the Eagles defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have similar defensive philosophies as well. You know, they want to play that cover 2 zone, really keep the roof over the defense, not allow those explosive plays. They both kind of are similar in that respect.
And that's why real quick,
Yeah.
I feel like that the Eagles and the Chargers on defense are carbon copy. Like, we are bad in stopping the run,
Yeah.
but we are like, top, in the top 10 in pass defense. Y'all are good in pass defense, but y'all so bad in stopping the run. Now I see why.
Yeah.
Because, and once one coach leave a team and then go to another team, they try to take that in that scheme to bring it on with them. So, but go ahead. I just want to
you're absolutely right. And also I think that's important to remember is that the Chargers have a completely new offense with a lot of different philosophies from New Orleans, concepts from San Francisco, running concepts from San Francisco, some passing concepts from the Packers. I mean, you just have all these elements that they tried to build and put together for Justin Herbert, and you saw some early success. He's had some really, really phenomenal games so far this season. And then you've seen a couple of games that I'm sure he wished he would have performed better in, like against the Ravens. The Ravens were nasty. I mean, they did a lot of disguise. They really made it difficult for Justin Herbert to process the field and make the right reads and make the right throws. And the Patriots did a little bit of the same, but the Chargers had a little more success running the ball. The Cowboys, the Chargers should have won that game. There was a lot of bad officiating in that game. One in particular, they called a sack call with Justin Herbert backing up, and they had a defender over him. They said that he was in the grasp, but I don't understand how you would call in the grasp if he's still moving around. It just doesn't make sense. But either way, you can't leave it in the hands of the officials. That's just not how you play football. But up to this point, I think these 2 back-to-back losses are humbling, and they should take these as lessons. You always learn more in your failures than you do in your successes. So there's a lot of great learning tape on both sides of the ball that hopefully they can take from and they can improve upon in this game against the Eagles.
Look, I agree with everything you said, like literally, because like I feel like with every loss the Eagles get are humble experience. Hey, thank you for this loss. Thank you for this L. What can I do better moving forward? But the problem is with us, besides last week, and everybody's like, it was against the Lions. It was against the Lions. I hear you. I hear you. It was against the Lions. But I'm not talking about the team we played.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the type of football, the style of football that us fans, has been begging for. Run the ball. You have a young quarterback. Go ahead.
I got a really good stat for you about running the ball and throwing the ball for you. When Jalen Hurts throws the ball 35 plus times, the Eagles are 2-4. Okay? 2-4. When they have a more balanced attack, they are winning those football games. Those are the games. If you look back on the 3 wins the Eagles have got this season, besides the last one, obviously they ran the ball 40 plus times. But in those other 2 games, there were a lot more balanced attack, and that's why they were able to win those football games. But 35 plus passing attempts, 2-4. So the formula for the Eagles is to run the football, and for the Chargers to force them to throw more than they want to.
See, and look, that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because us Eagles fans and other fans, we see it. We see it. We're not blind. Like, so the problem is, it's not the fan. It's like the coaching and the front office. You know what I mean? It's a front office problem, because some people think that Howie Roseman have his hands in everything, and some people think that Nick Sirianni is just a pass happy type of guy. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the inside scoop of nothing, but what I am seeing is this: we need to run the ball. We need to use our talent. Yeah. The Miles Sanders, the Gainwell, the Jordan Howard, the Boston Scott, even Jalen Hurts, a dual threat quarterback. Just use everything and not try to change someone, Jalen Hurts is not a pocket passer at
No,
all.
no.
You know what I mean? So I'm not even going to lie to myself and say, yo, just keep him in the pocket and he's going to beat you with his arm. He's not. He's a dual threat quarterback. Over time, he might learn how to be a pocket passer or a better pocket passer. But right now, his second season, but his first full season, you need to utilize everything he had in order for us to move ahead with Jalen Hurts as our franchise quarterback. And that's where I think that Nick Sirianni or Howie Roseman is messing up by trying to change him, into something that he's not.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, and I mean that's going to be part of one of my keys when we get there for Jalen Hurts is that like I said, you really want to make him throw the ball, and the best way to do that is to get a lead. If you get an early lead, then you're going to take that running attack away, and you're going to force the opponent to throw the football. And when you throw the football, you tend to make mistakes. So that's definitely going to be a key for success. But what do we got next?
So, but all right. So how do you feel about Justin Herbert? Like, I love the dude. I had him last year on fantasy. So, but this year, I mean, do you feel like he went backward, or he is as good as he was his rookie year? Because his rookie year, nobody had tape on him. Nobody had tape on him. He came in after Tyrod Taylor for some way somehow got a needle stuck in, and whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then he came in. So do you feel like that this year, because teams have videotape on him, that so far, I mean, he's not when he was 4-1, he was an MVP candidate. Right now, back-to-back losses, and of course, we know it's a everyday type of thing.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about him overall? I mean, a step forward, a step back, or what's your assessment?
Well, I mean, he's still making all the throws, and he still has all the incredible arm talent that you want from a franchise quarterback. I mean, that's clear. I mean, he has the ability to throw on the run accurately. He can run with the football. He can process the field. He can move in the pocket. Justin Herbert is a prototypical looking quarterback. He's 6'6", 240 pounds, incredibly agile and athletic. He's just had a couple of bad games. He went up against two of the better defensive coordinators or defensive minds in NFL football right now. Bill Belichick, who is a first ballot Hall of Fame coach and a defensive mastermind, and then Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, also a phenomenal defensive mind. And they were deploying similar tactics. They were showing coverage, and then they were changing it post-snap. And they were trying to make Justin Herbert have to process those changes in real time. And if anyone's played quarterback, that's really difficult to do. You already have so much information you have to try to put out. You have to put out checks. You have to set your protections. You have to identify matchups. So when the defensive landscape is changing after they snap the football, you have to really make a quick decision. And both of those defenses are keeping their safeties in, dual safeties in the cover two. So they're not allowing those long passes that Justin Herbert had so much success with in his rookie year. So Justin Herbert is going to have to learn how to take those checkdowns, how to make some audibles to where they can really use motion, use pace. I mean, really like rhythm and pace. Get up to the line of scrimmage quickly. If they can use those things, then you can start to beat some of that stuff. But that's what we haven't figured out yet. That's what Justin Herbert has struggled with in these last two games. And if you look past last year in his rookie year, the two games where he had a lot of trouble was the Patriots game, 45-0, and the Dolphins game, because they did similar things. They changed the landscape after the snap and really try to make him process the field. That's something Justin Herbert is still learning on, still getting better on. The thing that gives me faith is that Justin Herbert is incredibly intelligent. He won the academic Heisman at Oregon. Okay? He is a 4.0 biology student. This guy is really, really smart, and he loves football, and he's passionate about it. So I believe he's going to look at these things that he's been doing and make these corrections, and he's going to have to against the Eagles if they want to win.
Look, hey, I agree with everything that you just said. I mean, Justin Herbert is like the quarterback that every franchise wants. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yes, this is his second year. Of course, people have films on him now, but that's
yeah,
okay. But I feel like that he is the type of quarterback that could adjust. He actually kind of remind me of a Josh Allen. Like even though the Josh Allen he struggled his first year,
yeah,
but like you see the leaps, like every year he's gotten better and better and better. That I even picked Josh Allen to be the MVP this season before the season even started. I'm just based off what I've been seeing from the past few years. His his progress over the years. So I feel
yeah.
like that Justin Herbert, y'all are in good hands. Y'all have your franchise quarterback. If I were y'all, I sign him right now because hey, 3 years from now, and when his contract is due 2 years from now, y'all about to pay this guy $10 billion
Yeah, we're
because
gonna have to back up the Brinks truck, that's for sure.
exactly. So if I was the Chargers, I would definitely try to get him locked in. Like I don't know the rules about how soon you can lock in a quarterback, but he's definitely a quarterback for the future for the Chargers. I mean, that is just straight up facts for me. Hey, it is what it is. So give me your thoughts on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. So Jalen Hurts, and I evaluated Jalen Hurts in the draft process because
Yeah.
on Locked On we always evaluate all of the positions. We do like a draft series, basically a whole month long draft series on different prospects and different positions. And so Jalen Hurts, one thing I saw was he's a winner. He definitely won at both programs that he played at in college. He's a very, very good runner, but Jalen Hurts has issues processing the field. And what he does is that he does one of two things. He holds onto the ball too long and he
Mhm.
gets sacked, or he gives up on the play too soon and he runs and he gets out of the pocket and he gives up on the play, giving up on the possibility of a bigger passing play. That's something I saw in college, and I'm still
Mhm.
seeing it in the NFL right now. I think he's gotten better. He's had a couple of games, and obviously the offense here with the Eagles is built to kind of give him some easy throws and get him in good rhythm.
Mhm.
But he still has issues with processing the field or making the decision on when to run or to keep it a little bit longer. So that's what I've seen so far. But again, still a very dangerous weapon.
Yeah, look, hey, look. Before we came on, hey, we talked about Jalen Hurts a little bit. I feel like that we just need just stop making him into a quarterback that he's not.
Yeah,
He's not a pocket passer quarterback.
right.
He's more of a Lamar Jackson in between Russell Wilson type of quarterback. He could throw better than Lamar Jackson because I feel like that he's more groomed to throw the ball better than Lamar Jackson, just taking off and run. And that's why every year the Ravens are top in the league in rushing, mostly because of Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, I mean, you saw in Oklahoma, he was the Heisman runner up in Oklahoma. He played for Alabama. This guy, like, if you groom him the right way, he could be the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL. Like, he could actually be a Russell Wilson. I'm not trying to say he is. I'm just trying to say that he could be that type of quarterback where he could run when he wants to. He could escape the pocket. But then he still could make the throws. But you can't give up on him in the first year. And you need that coaching staff together to be able to groom him, like every
Yeah,
year. So, but yeah, I agree with everything that you said about Jalen Hurts. He definitely be leaving the pocket a little bit too soon, and then he's trying to wait to for the guys to get open instead of throwing them open, instead of trusting them and say, hey, you know what, this pass play was called.
yeah,
As soon this and this hit, I'm about to throw the ball, and it's up to that wide receiver to be there. But he don't have that confidence yet. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So this is technically his first full season. Just even going back to last year and this year, he's still in his first full season. So I'm expecting him to be better the more games he play. So all right. So let's move on to impact players on both sides, or you could give me one on defense, one on offense, or two on offense. Whatever you want to give me, I'll take.
All right, sounds good. Well, so we'll start on the defensive side of the ball, and I mean, there's really no other person to talk about other than Derwin James. Derwin James is a bad,
Oh.
bad man because he can do anything that you ask him to do on the football field. He is a safety that can play in the box against the run. He can play back as your free safety, your last line of defense defender. He can play against the run as a linebacker. He can rush the passer. He can and does all of those things at a very high level. He can play outside corner. He can play in the slot. He can cover your number one wide receiver or your tight end. He is that kind of animal. Derwin James is the dude that's going to be on your number one wide receiver. Also is going to be rushing the passer. He's going to be all over the field because that's the best way to use him. Because if you're not using him in a multiple way, you're not getting the most out of his talents. So Derwin James is going to be a chess piece you're going to see all over the field on Sunday. And as on offense, I mean, there's a lot of weapons the Chargers have at their disposal.
Yeah.
I think you got to talk about Keenan Allen, who's been one of the best wide receivers in the NFL over the last 8 years. Your coach, Nick Sirianni, uses Keenan Allen's tape to show his wide receivers on how to play the position in the NFL. He's that good. And then Mike Williams is having a resurgent year. He's having one of the best years of his NFL career because they're giving him more ability and more options on those short and intermediate routes to take the ball and run with the ball after the catch. And he's always just been that big jump ball wide receiver. I'm going to throw it up when I need, someone to make a big play. And he's always been able to come down with that, but he's able to do more. He's capable to do more. And he's showing that this season. So those are two guys that are very important. But I think in this game, for the Eagles, the most important person to keep an eye on is Austin Eckler.
I knew it.
100,000,000%. And the reason why, I'm sorry to say this, but the Eagles linebackers and coverage are absolutely terrible. Trash. And here's the stat to back it up. The Eagles linebackers have given up 98 receptions on 107 targets for 919 yards and 6 touchdowns. That is a completion percentage of over 91%. They have been the worst linebacking core in coverage in the NFL by a long shot. So Austin Eckler is going to get a lot of screen opportunities in this game. He's going to get a lot of line out opportunities. He's going to be in the flat. He's going to be running angle routes. He is going to test these Eagles linebackers all game long. And if he gets out in the open, it might be a long day.
All right, look, man, hey, those stats are eye-opening for me. Like, I didn't even know those stats that you just, blurt out there. Thank you for making the Eagles linebackers look like shit.
Sorry, I got to do my job. Research, baby.
Yeah, look, I agree with you, though. We all, every Philadelphia Eagle fans agree with you. But for some way, somehow.
You want to know who the worst one is?
Don't tell me Wilson, right?
No, he got waived, but no, it's not. It's Alex Singleton. 38 receptions on 41 targets for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns. Also, he's missed 15 tackles so far this year. He is the biggest liability you guys have on the defensive side.
Yes, and I agree with you. I agree 100% because Alex Singleton, he's top in the league in tackles, right?
Yeah.
But that is a misleading stat.
100%.
Because he never hit the hole. Mm-hmm. He watched the running back hit the hole and then chase him downfield and then try to make the tackle. So that's why he has so many tackles. But at the same time, I do agree with you, through the first game through game number 7. But last week, if you watched that game, right?
Yep,
yes, it was against the Lions, but TJ Edwards is our best run-stopping linebacker. So, coming into the season, I don't know why he was not that guy because he was our best run-stopping linebacker. Even last year when he was hurt, we was bad in stopping the run. But when he came back, we start to stop the run. But so now he's that guy right now because Wilson, he got waived. We cut our losses and stuff like that. And then Taylor. Taylor is a fast linebacker, so he actually was in the starting lineup last Sunday. So with Edwards and Taylor, I feel like that we could kind of, I'm not going to say shut down anybody, but minimize the damage that Austin Eckler could do, because especially if you bring the blitz. I watched the Patriots Chargers game. I'm like, man, this reminds me of the exact same thing we just did to Jared Goff. You show something, you back out of it, or you come with it so fast that he has no time to go to a Keenan Allen or a Mike Williams or Austin Eckler, because he is like so confused. So I'm hoping that last game was not enough to say, you know what, I could fix this issue. And then after the Eagles game, then he started fixing his issue, because we need this win. We need this win in the worst way. It is our home game. We are over. We have not won one home game this year yet. And we'll see what happens. But if everything goes well, if our defense, and I'm hoping that, I mean, I'm get into it, but I'm hoping that if we play the same style of defense. So you watch the game, right? So
of course.
And so tell me, so if the Eagles bring that same style of defense against the Chargers on Sunday, like how difficult would it be? Or, since he had a dry run with the Patriots and he had learned something. So, I mean, how difficult would it be for Justin Herbert?
Well, yeah. There are things to do to combat that, and the first thing to do is to run the football. And the Eagles have a very good pass rushing defensive line, but a very terrible defensive line against the run. If you look at their PFF grades, all of them are 50 and under on the defensive line stopping the run. They have very good pass rush grades, like Javon Hargrave has a 90 plus PFF pass rushing grade. A couple of their other ones are 75 plus. Like they can get after the passer for sure, but they have a lot of issues stopping the run. So first and foremost is you stop the run. That's going to slow down that blitz, because you're going to, if you're able to rip off chunk plays in the running game, that keeps you ahead of the sticks. And also you hit with the quick passes and the screens to the running backs, screens to the tight ends, screens to the wide receivers. That's going to slow down. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. I do my research, man. I got to do my research. But you use the screens and the quick passes, because that's how you're going to slow down the pass rush, and that's how you keep your defense on the sideline and keep your offense ahead of the chains and moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But so do you feel like that if the Eagles play the exact same defense that they played against the Lions, against the Chargers, where they was stopping the run, like the linebackers was actually like filling up these gaps, like we was overwhelming a Jared Goff. I know that Herbert is not Goff,
right?
But Goff did bring a team to a Super Bowl. Like he was one of the front runners for MVP. Like when they went to Super Bowl, he was a front runner for MVP because of his stats and stuff like that. So he's not like a who I say like
a Trent Dilfer on the 2000 Ravens.
Wait. You said that, meaning that you probably compare him to it.
Nah, not at all. But the thing is the Lions, they have who on the offensive side? Who's their weapons? Name
Hawkinson,
one.
That's it.
Hawkinson. That's it.
Tight end.
And he caught 10 passes on 11 targets against the Eagles for 89 yards. So that's another way. The tight ends. The tight ends are going to be huge in this game against the Eagles, because there's Jared Cook, and there's one guy you probably don't know about. His name is Donald Parham. He is 6'8", and he is an animal in the red zone. He's a walking skyscraper and has a gigantic catch radius. So the last 3 games against the Eagles, tight ends have had 25 receptions on 27 targets for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. So the Eagles have struggled mightily against tight ends and those running backs in the passing game. So if they keep doing that against the Chargers, then they're going to get the ball out to those tight ends and to those running backs to slow that down. And then they're going to force them to play more coverage.
So the last three games, the Eagles played the Lions,
The
the
Raiders.
Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that the Bucks. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, the Bucks.
Yeah. The
Because like
Buck.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the Bucks had two tight ends in that game that had pretty decent games. Cameron Brate, I think, was 3 for 4, and
Yeah.
OJ Howard had like 6 for 60 and a touchdown.
And a touchdown. Yeah,
Yeah,
because like the first 3-4 games, and we shut down Kittles,
yeah,
Kelsey, and Kyle Pitts. So
right.
we are the type of defense right now where just like the Chargers, like the wide receivers barely get no action. So the
Mm-hmm.
only way you're gonna try to move down the field is either through the running game and throwing to your tight end. So I know exactly what you're talking about because that's
But it's
what I've
not
been
though,
watching.
because and here's why. You
Go
guys,
ahead.
I mean, your corners are good. I'll give you that. I
Mhm.
like Darius Slay on the outside, and the last time Darius Slay and Keenan Allen went at it, it was popcorn television, right? It was appointment television. It was fantastic. They were going at it. They were physical. They were fighting the whole time. That's what you want to see in those matchups. Just
Yeah.
two alpha dogs going head to head. But then you got Mike Williams, and what they like to do
Yeah.
with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams is move them into the slot.
Mhm.
And then if they move them into the slot, you're going up against a 5'9" corner on the Eagles.
Who Maddox?
Exactly. Maddox is
Well,
5'9". So then you move 6'2" Keenan Allen or 6'4" Mike Williams into the
okay.
slot, and then you throw it up and you take advantage of that matchup.
Yep. See, the way to counter that is this: you play underneath and over the top on that big physical wide receiver. We play
But
Mike
then
Evans.
you're opening things up for another part of the field to be exposed. Because you're double teaming somebody. So that's the situation. That's
Yeah.
what this offense is trying to do. They're trying to force you to pick your poison. Who are you going to cover? Who's it going to go to? I mean, that's the question.
Okay, so this is about to pretty much try to like switch this whole conversation that we're having right now because your O line versus the D line
Yeah.
of the Philadelphia Eagles, the strength and weaknesses. So I'm gonna let you go first because this is about to tell me, if you saying what you're saying, with the Jared Cook, the Keenan Allen, the
Yeah.
Mike Williams, are they gonna get the ball or are they gonna have time? So I'm curious to see your strength and weaknesses on the O line and defensive line.
Okay, so one thing I talked about earlier about the Chargers offensive line is that it's brand new this season. There's a lot of new members. The Chargers spent a lot of money in free agency. They went and got Corey Linsley, the center from the Packers, who is renowned as one of the best centers in the NFL. They signed Matt Filer, who is a guard/tackle from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is a phenomenal player who can play at a high level, both at guard and at tackle. They drafted Rashawn Slater, the left tackle out of Northwestern, 13th
I like
overall,
him. Yeah, he's a
who
beast.
is an absolute animal. He is one of the best left tackles in the NFL, regardless of status. This guy is dominant. He's went up against Chase Young. He's went up against Myles Garrett. He's went up against some Chris Jones, some of the best pass rushers in the NFL, and he has stoned them to where they have moved to the other side because he's that good. Now that takes me to the right side of the offensive line.
Yes,
it's
tell
not
me that
exactly
weakness.
the same situation.
Yeah.
Michael Schofield at right guard is okay. He's a veteran. He's a bring your lunch pail to work type of guy. He's solid. He's nothing special. He's not going to pancake guys. He's not he's not your all pro type of right guard. He's just, I'm going to get my job done. Right tackle position, that's the biggest liability here. Storm Norton's a backup. Unfortunately, the starter, Brian Bulaga, has dealt with injuries the entire year. He dealt with a core muscle injury. He dealt with a back injury. He had surgery to correct that, but he's not going to be back anytime soon. So Storm Norton's had to fill in. Not really my first choice, honestly. I would have preferred that they move Filer out to right tackle, who's already had experience doing that at a high level in the NFL, but I don't make the decisions, obviously. And Storm Norton has struggled. I mean, he's given up 30 pressures and 277 pass rushing snaps, which is third most amongst offensive tackles in the NFL. That stats from Daniel Popper of The Athletic. But he's been really bad. He's been really bad, and that's where it's been the biggest target as far as the Eagles defenders and their defensive line. They're going to want to line up over line up over the right tackle as much as they can to try to take advantage of that matchup. But the Chargers know that as well. So they're going to do a lot more max protect. They're going to keep their tight ends in a lot more. They're going to keep their running backs in a lot more to try to combat that. So they're going to have to, because unfortunately, Storm Norton really can't be trusted the entire game to win all of his one-on-one matchups.
I keep laughing over here because every time you tell me the weakness, I'm like, yes. Because I feel like in order to neutralize a Keenan Allen, a Mike Williams, a Jerry Cook, the Philadelphia Eagles will have to get to the quarterback.
Absolutely.
So last week we went against Penny Sewell.
Yeah.
So, and we got one sack against him, but he did pretty good. Mm-hmm. But on that other side, Josh Sweat, he came to life last week. Right. He got 2 sacks because he was against the weaker guy. Right. So I feel like that whoever your weak guy is, that Josh Sweat is going to be lined up against him. All right. So he had 3.5 sacks this year. It's not eye popping, but last week He did get 2 because the defense just started blitzing and, everywhere, just like you said, your offensive line is kind of like iffy,
well, just on the right side, the left side's very strong. I mean, the left tackle, the left guard, the center, they're all phenomenal players, both in pass protection and run blocking. They're road graders. They run people over. They can handle themselves in pass protection. I'm not really worried about the left side. They're phenomenal. The right side is just a little bit weaker, and it is cause for concern.
Yeah, I mean, look, I kind of agree because I had a couple of Chargers content created on, and they said the exact same thing. Their biggest concern is the right side. But if y'all feel that way, I'm hoping that the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator is like listening and watching and say, you know what, let's bring the pressure on the right side, or let's try to go on the left side with more. Just try to do a cornerback blitz or anything on that left side and try to confuse a young quarterback. So look, I love it, and we'll see, because on our defensive line, we have Cox and Hargrave in the middle. Cox required double team or either. So who would you double team, Cox or Hargrave?
Well, it depends on the situation. I mean, if we're run blocking, then I'm definitely going to double Javon Hargrave. If we're pass blocking, then actually, no, reverse that. If we're running, then I'm going to double team Fletcher Cox and take him out of the situation because he's your best interior run stopping defensive lineman. Mm-hmm. And if we're in a passing situation, I'm definitely doubling Javon Hargrave, who has 6 sacks on the year, has a 90+ PFF pass rushing grade. So I'm going to make sure that he doesn't beat me. That's how I would do it for sure.
All right, facts. All right. I need you to answer just the first half of this question. Is Herbert Hand okay? Because we are going to get into the score prediction and, and the game ball going to. So my guy Drizzle, I need you to stick around to listen to the, the score prediction and 3 keys to victory. So, but just answer that first question for him. Is Herbert Hand okay?
Yes, his hand is okay. He did irritate his hand towards the end of the Patriots game. He hit it on one of the defenders' helmets, but he had a limited participation early in the week and then was full, and then was taken off the injury report. His hand is fine. He's not feeling any ill effects. He's 100%.
All right. So for those who wasn't here earlier, your secondary is basically on their second and third string DBs. So just tell us who your starters that are out and how confident are you that the backups could step up to the plate.
Yeah, so Michael Davis, their starting corner on the outside, on the left side is out with a hamstring injury. He's going to miss this game. And on the right side, the rookie Asante Samuel Jr., who was a Rookie of the Month award winner, who has 2 interceptions. He is in concussion protocol, and he has not been cleared for this game either. They are the starting corners on the outside, so you're going to see the backups, probably Chris Harris Jr. Out there on the outside, also rotating. He's going to play some in the slot. He's going to play some on outside corner, depending on the package, whether they're in nickel or dime. And then you're going to see Tavon Campbell, who is one of their faster corners, runs a 4-3, probably covering your speedy wide receivers like Devonta Smith. So they're going to be on their third and fourth string corners in this game. So yeah, definitely a little concerning, but yeah.
Okay. So you're not like on the scale from 1 to 10, like
Yeah.
what's your confident level?
So, I would say like a 5 or 6. I mean, I'm not super confident, but I'm not like panicking either. I mean, they have some veteran players. They also have some phenomenal safeties, like I said, with Derwin James and their free safety Nazir Adderley, who I think are really starting to learn how to play next to each other and are really beautiful compliments to each other, because Nazir Adderley has very innate ball skills, has just a very good feel for the game, has good speed, good range, also learning to play more physical, which I think he's learning from Derwin James. Derwin James is, like I said, a prototype positionless player. They really complement each other well. So I think that takes some of the burden off of those corners, because they are going to know that they're going to have high quality backup help on the backside of the defense.
Hey, look, I like it. Hey, before we go on to the next question, hey, if you're watching, man, and you are liking this stream, hey, go follow my guy right here. You know, his YouTube channel is in the link right there. So just go hit him up. They are a trio. They do more than just Chargers. They are all over the place, all 32 teams. They do have, they do cover all 32 teams and much more. So
Well, our
just
network
let them know what
does.
they do.
Yeah, our network does for sure. I mean, our show is specifically about the Chargers, but our network, Locked On, covers all the NFL, the entire NBA, college programs, and all. So they're everywhere.
Nice, good. All right, so let's do the defensive line. All right, your defensive line versus the Eagles' offensive line strength and weakness.
Yeah, so the Eagles' offensive line is pretty solid. With their tackles, I think the right tackle has gotten better. I think, yeah, he struggled.
Johnson?
Yeah, no, your left tackle. Excuse me.
Oh, Mariota.
Yeah, Mariota. Yes, I know he's dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, but he's gotten better, I would say, throughout the season. I would say if I looked for a weakness on the offensive line, it's definitely the guard, Landon Dickerson. I think he's given up a sack. He's given up 5 pressures. So he's probably the guy that Joey Bosa is going to be trying to take advantage of in this game. You're going to see him on the outside, of course, but I believe they're probably going to organize opportunities to get Joey Bosa more one-on-one opportunities on Landon Dickerson. And that's something he called for last game, but I think he's really going to come in and try to take advantage of that matchup against the Eagles.
Woo, you know what? And look, and that's the thing. I want, I do not want that, because the last Bosa that we faced against the 49ers, he did not get a sack against a Mariota, so they kind of flipped them to the other side.
Yeah.
So are the Chargers going to do the exact same thing? If they can't get through this beast of Mariota, would they flip Bosa into the other side?
Yeah, for sure. But they're also going to bring the linebackers too. You're going to see Drew Tranquil blitz a lot as well, and he's going to really try to get those one-on-one opportunities for Joey Bosa, because he's going to bring another guy that the offensive line has to account for. And I mean, that's what you want to do with your big time players. You want to give them as many one-on-one opportunities to win as you possibly can. So Brandon Staley is going to try to organize and orchestrate that as much as he possibly can. But like I said, they're also going to bring Derwin James off the edge as well. So you're going to get pressure from the safety, you're going to get pressure from the linebackers, and you're going to get pressure from the defensive line. And you're not going to know before the snap who's going to come. So they're going to make that as exotic as they can.
All right. So with that being said, with all the pressure that y'all sending, so how afraid are y'all that Jalen Hurts might escape the pocket?
Yeah,
he runs fast.
Yeah, for sure. Jalen Hurts is the second leading rusher in the NFL right now with I think 430 rushing yards, 200 and
as quarterback though. As far as
quarterbacks goes, yes. And 230 of those yards are scramble yards. So he actually has more yards scrambling than he does, with his design runs, which, they've done 40 design runs for him this year. So, it's a big concern. I mean, stopping the run is first and foremost. I mean, the Eagles, obviously last week, we saw what happens when they run the ball at a high level. There has to be a commitment to stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to throw the football. That's the recipe for success. So I think that they will have a philosophical change in this game to really force the Eagles to throw the ball. And so they're going to sell out to stop the run.
Yeah, look, like the biggest thing it for me is this, that Jalen Hurts went up against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, as you know, they are pretty good this year.
Sure.
The Kansas City Chiefs are not pretty good.
Defense is garbage.
Yeah,
their defense is garbage.
Exactly. But against the Bucks, so he had experience to escape the pocket. So he kind of know. Like, I trust him to leave the pocket. The thing is, I want to see if he could stay in the pocket, without the pressure, and be able to deliver a good throw. That's the only thing I'm worrying about, because this year he has not really turned the ball over that much. So he's really protecting himself and the ball this year. So that's the thing. If those guys are pressuring Derwin James and blitz and stuff like that, I'm not even concerned that he won't be able to leave, because that's what he do best. He runs like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I'm not even concerned that he's not going to be able to run and get out of danger. But I feel like, are y'all equipped to actually have a spy on Jalen Hurts? Or you're not going to have a spy at all? You're just going to say, hey, boom, it is what it is, because y'all need so much help in stopping the run, and you're not that confident.
Well, I mean, this is one of the keys for success in the game, but it's to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been sacked 14 times this year, but only 4 of those sacks have come via the blitz. So you really want to bank on Jalen Hurts holding on to the ball too long and not being able to process the field, and thus holding on to the ball and getting sacked. So that's what has happened more than teams organizing pressure to intentionally get after the quarterback. So you want to try to get pressure with 4 and really make him process the field and throw the football. You're more likely to get a sack in that situation where you play sticky coverage and try to get pressure with your front 4. So that's the way to beat Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, look, I agree, because I feel like that he runs he runs so fast.
Yeah, well, too quickly.
Yeah, exactly, too quickly before even the pressure even get there. That if he just sit back there and y'all guys are working on magic up front, that it might be some bad problems. But look, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. So, Grandizer, have a question for you.
Sure.
What 3 Chargers rookie have impressed you the most?
Yeah, so, I mean, first-round pick Rashawn Slater has been phenomenal. Like I said earlier, he's been one of the best left tackles in the NFL. He's a true technician, really, really good pass protector, a very violent, very physical, very strong run blocker as well. Asante Samuel Jr., their second-round pick, the corner, he's been fantastic as well. I mean, really he's played well above his years. I mean, in the NFL, corner is one of the most difficult positions to play, and you have to have a very quick memory because you get burned a lot. I mean, it's a failure business, right? It's just how much can you not fail is really the barometer of how good you're going to be in the NFL. So, and he's dealt with some adversity, but he's played very, very well up to this point. Very physical, very feisty, very good in coverage. And then I'll go with Nick Neiman, who's a fifth-round linebacker. He's played very good on special teams. He's been a good gunner. He's been very violent. He's also been good as a linebacker when called upon. He's just very good with reading and reacting. So those 3 guys out of this class, I think, have played the best.
Okay, I mean, you done told me some things. I'm like, who's is Nick Neiman? Who is he talking about? So, hey, thank you for the information, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, hey, real quick, I know that Bosa has been getting double and triple teams. So, my question to you is this: how bad does the Chargers D-line miss Melvin Ingram?
Yeah, I think they definitely do miss him, just because Joey Bosa is that dude, man. He's that good. He is very, very, very good as a pass rusher. He can win with speed. He can win with technique. He can win with a hand swipe. He can win with power. But he can't win double and triple teams all the time. That's going to wear dudes out, because there's nobody else on the other side that is providing enough pass rush to give him more one-on-one opportunities. That's why you have to send other guys to really do that for him, which essentially you don't want to do that all the time, because that's going to leave a liability somewhere else on the defense. But the Chargers really need Uchenna Nwosu to step up in Melvin Ingram's stead. He was the guy who's been waiting patiently in the wings the last few years. The Chargers selected in the second round until Melvin Ingram moved on. And it was like, all right, now it's time for him to step up. Now it's time for him to make the most of his opportunity. It's a contract year. let's go. Let's see what you got. And so far through these first 7 games, he's been very underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And this was his time to shine. I mean, you got plenty of motivation because if you do well, you go out there and perform well. You're young. You can make a lot of money right now on this contract. And in the NFL, your shelf life is so short. You have such a small window to capitalize on making the most money that you can. And this is it for him. Like, this is the window. So he needs to go out there and play a hell of a lot better if he wants to make that money and have another opportunity, whether it be here or with another team.
So, hey, what was the reason why that Melvin is not with the team no more? Is it because of money or just like they didn't want him?
He just wasn't productive anymore. I mean, the last 2 years that he was with the Chargers, he just wasn't getting those sack numbers that he was putting up. And he was never like a monster sack guy. He never had like a 15, 16 sack season. That hasn't happened. Yes, Asante Samuel Jr. is out this game, but he still has been one of the more impressive rookies so far. That's what I was talking about. But yes, I mean it's been a problem.
All right, look, I'm glad that Melvin Ingram is not there no more.
Yeah,
like honestly, because we played him. The Eagles and Chargers, like, man, the rivalry is not a blowout in any other way.
No,
like,
it's
like 5-3. Like,
well, the biggest margin of victory in this series is 16 points. So there's never been a game the Chargers and Eagles have played where there has been a game that has been more than a 16-point differential. It just hasn't happened. So these are close games when they do happen.
Yeah, and we're going to get to your prediction and your keys, but let's go to this right here. Do you think the Eagles can slow down this Chargers offense?
I'm not convinced that they can. And a lot of it is because of the Eagles linebackers. I think they're just a massive liability, and the Chargers should and they will target the middle of this defense all game long.
Wow, that was I'm not playing with you right now. I'm about to tell you exactly what I'm feeling. Y'all ain't gonna stop us from scoring.
Hey, I gotta say it, man.
All right, look, I feel like that. Yes, I have to emphasize it. Yes, it was against the Lions, but this defense that we've been waiting for, that the personnel that we have, this is the type of defense that I thought we was going to start to play from the jump. And you blitz. You had the personnel to at least try to lock down one side, and slay. And now you went and got Nelson for a reason, Steven Nelson for a reason, to at least give you confidence that, hey, you might leave him on the island by himself. And now you could try to bring the linebackers in a little bit, blitz a little bit more, knowing that Anthony Harris is back there, or McLeod is back there, or Mike Epps is back there. Like, just knowing that these guys are back there to help your linebackers out. So last week was the perfect defense that I've ever saw. I thought that our defensive coach got fired in midweek, and we got a new defensive coordinator because the way this defense was playing, I did not recognize it. I really did not recognize it, because that's what we've been preaching for all year. Why not mix it up? You have a lockdown. You bought in Slay for a reason.
Right.
So why are you trying to not use him to his strength? And Steven Nelson, why not? At least wait till these guys get burnt over and over, and then you say, okay, I need to adjust.
Yeah.
But just to jump off the bat and say, hey, hey, we're going to play this zone, this bend, don't break defense. Yeah, you could do that with a sorry quarterback, but a good quarterback, a common sense quarterback, could just dump it off all day and just walk you down until you just run up the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's why the Eagles have 8 to 15 play drives. Like, they're literally giving up to minimum 8 to 15 play drives when the other team score, and our defense gets so tired.
Yeah.
So what I saw last Sunday is exactly what I think I'm hoping for. I mean, even if it's not 100% the same thing, at least 85% of it is what we saw last Sunday. Just mixing the blitz and stuff like that. So I feel like, with that being said, that I feel like that the Philadelphia Eagles defense, that this game right here is going to win on defense. Like, I believe that because of Nick Sirianni ties, to the Chargers and stuff like that, that they kind of know what each other is going to do. It's going to be like who's
Different
going to make the
teams, man.
mistakes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Herbert wasn't there when Nick Sirianni was there, right?
Yeah.
So it was Rivers.
Different offense, different defense, different schemes, different looks. I don't think it's. I mean, familiarity with the players and how they perform. I can see how that might be able to help you a little bit. But what they're asking these players to do are completely different than what it was even last year, because there's a new head coach, and the head coach has changed everything this season. So, like I said, familiarity with players might help you a little bit, but that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, look, hey, we'll see. So, look, I'm just hoping that we do not go back to the first 7 weeks.
Yeah,
that
I hear you.
saw something in week 8, like we saw something in week 8 that we could just adopt that system.
Yeah.
And move forward with.
Well,
and then
if anything, it's going to give you confidence, right? To go out there and perform like that's how you want to do it, regardless of if they're playing one of the worst teams in the NFL, which they were. The Lions are awful. They're terrible. But that feeling of going out there and executing the way you want to. The Eagles had the highest DVOA in the NFL last week against the Lions. That feeling right there, that will help you for sure. Definitely. You remember that. You go out there and you have plays like that, and you mentally record that, and you're like, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to feel. So that in within itself will help you. But the level of competition you're going up against this week in comparison to last week is completely different.
And I agree with you. And what got me like goosebumps was the player who's like, hey, let's run the ball. Like, because Devontae Smith was mic'd up.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, we could do this every week. Yo, he's not even worried about him getting targets or anything like that. He's like, hey, this team is more successful when we are running the ball, when we're doing this on defense. Like, everybody sees it. It's up to the coaching to say, you know what? These guys are right. Let's just stick to their strength. It's not about my ego as a coach. Right. I've been winning my whole life, though. It's okay. So I need to put that aside and then just do what's right for this team and not what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's how you're going to have to do it if you're going to win games.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to this question. The Chargers have started they started 4-1 and now they're 4-3. What is the ceiling and the bottom for this team?
Yeah, I mean, the schedule, if you look at it for the Chargers, it gets a whole lot easier starting with this game. And it's no disrespect to the Eagles. They're 3-5, right? Just strictly record-wise.
Yeah, facts.
They've went up against a lot of plus 500 teams, a lot of former playoff teams the first 7 games of the season. And starting this game and going forward, those records, if you look at them, they're a lot more of a negative than they were plus 500. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying this is going to be an easy game, because I don't believe that. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. I truly believe that for sure. But the Chargers, I think, if I'm looking at a ceiling here, and we have 10 more football games, with them being 4-3, I think they can realistically win 6 of those, maybe even 7. So I'm going to say top ceiling, I would go with 11 wins, but more realistically, probably 10.
All right. So where do you see yourself in the division? The Raiders, the Chiefs, y'all, and
the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos. So where do you see yourself in this division?
Yeah, I think this year it's wide open. It's open season because the Chiefs are a completely different football team than what they used to be the last few years. It's much, much different. So the Chiefs don't have a stranglehold over the AFC West anymore. The Chargers have a win over them already in the season. They have a win over the Raiders already in the season, who are currently leading. So if the Chargers win this game right here, then they're right back in the thick of it. And there's still a lot of division games to go. They still have another matchup against the Raiders, another matchup against the Chiefs, both games against the Broncos, which, who the hell are the Broncos this year? They don't even know. So
I'm shocked that they gave up. They literally gave up by getting rid of Von Miller. They're telling you right now, we're not in it. Hey, we're done. And I'm shocked because they started on 3-0 or 4-0, and then now they're 4-4.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I think this division for the first time in like 5 years is wide open, and I can realistically see the Chargers, the Raiders, or even the Chiefs possibly, if they're able to, come back to reality, winning this division. So it's actually truly open for the first time in a while.
But what's your gut feeling saying? Like, what's your gut feeling? Like,
That's
who's
tough. I think honestly the Chargers probably have the best chance of winning the division because I think they have the formula to beat the Chiefs. They've already beaten the Raiders, and I think the Raiders have always started off strong, and then they have plummeted the last 3 or 4 seasons. So I don't know if they're ready to get over that hump. They've had to deal with a lot of
yeah.
controversy this
And
season, losing their coach. Obviously, what happened, the other day. I'm not going to mention
yeah.
that, but they've dealt with a lot of issues, and I think that's just going to be a little bit too much to overcome, and I think they're going to fall off. So I think the Chargers probably have the best shot this year.
Wow. Look, I kind of feel like the other way. Like, I really feel like that the Raiders might actually, like, adversity sometimes could bring a team together.
Sure.
A bond, a brotherhood,
Yeah.
and take off. The Philadelphia Eagles, like that year that we won the Super Bowl was a magical year. Like,
Yeah.
we literally was like the one team, the second team that won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Our left tackle was gone. Our starting quarterback was gone. Our starting running back was gone. Our starting middle linebacker was gone. Our captain, our special team was gone. Also, season-ending injuries.
Right.
But some way, somehow, like all the adversity, just brought us together, and we made the magic happen. So I really feel like that the Raiders this year, I'm not going to say that they're going to a Super Bowl, but I feel like that they are the type of team with Derek Carr being more mature as a leader on that team, that this team is playing a little bit looser, because John Gruden is not there no more. That was actually a plus. That was actually him being fired or resigned was a plus. Even the play was like, oh, man, and now we can have fun and play the game. Like it's so Chucky look, like he had to stick with that, whatever thing that was, throughout his career, because that's what people know him to be. This bad guy, this Chucky looking guy. So that kind of rubbed off wrong on your players. Now, since he's gone, this team is having fun. Yes, adversity comes, but there are still some soon to be free agents out there, and they are not playing on, by tomorrow. The Deshaun Jackson, Odell Beckham Jr. Who knows? This team is playing with Crosby and Ognagwe. These guys, they're not. I feel like that this is, if any year it's open, but who got the advantage? I feel like that the Raiders right now at the advantage, just based on their coaching that's gone now. John Gruden is gone. That was a plus. But this team is saying, hey, let's bond together and let's win this for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, it's open for the first time in a few years. So we'll see who takes the opportunity.
All right. So Granddaughter was like, prior to the 2021 NFL season, what was the Chargers team record prediction? Has that changed now?
No, not really. I mean, I was in the 10-7, 11-6 range, and I still feel like the Chargers can get there. So no, it hasn't really changed for me.
And Richie had to spell out the EAGLs. Eagles. All right. So
hey, I feel it. I respect the passion. I love it.
All right. So let's get to 3 keys to victory on Sunday. On both sides of the ball, and let's just go like that. Go ahead.
Okay. So for the Chargers on offense, I already talked about it earlier, but it's target the linebackers all day long. I mean, the Eagles linebackers, I gave a stat earlier in the show. I'll give it back now. The Eagles linebackers have given up 98 receptions on 107 targets for 919 yards and 6 touchdowns. Boys for life. I mean, I don't really get that one. I mean, I guess imitation is the best, sincerest form of flattery, but
boys for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
about that. But yeah, target the linebackers for the Chargers. I mean, they're not very good in coverage at all. There should be a lot of openings for Austin Eckler and Jared Cook and Donald Parham, the tight ends, to take advantage. That's the second thing, is to definitely use the screen game to slow down the pass rush. You got to get the ball to Austin Eckler in the screen game. You got to get it to Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in the screen game. You got to get it to Jared Cook and Donald Parham in the screen game. Slow down the pass rush, get those easy completions, get Justin Herbert back into a good throwing rhythm. And if you're able to do that, that's going to bode well. And then the third key is to run the football. You have to run the football against the Eagles. The Eagles are giving up 130 plus rushing yards per game. Their defensive line, although they are very good as pass rushers, they are not good against the run. So you should be able to run the ball effectively, which in turn will keep your offense on the field, keep you in shorter down and distances so you can convert third downs and score touchdowns. So that's what they have to do on offense. On defense, they need to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. They cannot allow him to scramble and run around. That's not going to work for them. Jalen Hurts is very effective with those off-script plays. So you have to keep the pass rushers. It's not all about blitzing on the inside. You want it to stay on the outside and keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. That's definitely very, very important. Sorry, you're funny, man. Definitely want to stop the run. I mean, you want to stop the run. You have to stop the run against the Eagles. You saw what the Eagles were able to do when they were able to run the ball at a high level. That's incredibly effective for them. They are a lot more dangerous when they run the ball to set up the pass than pass to set up the run. So that's what the Chargers need to do. They need to stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball as much as you possibly can. And the best way to do that is to get a lead. And that's the last key for me, is to get a lead on the Eagles and force them to throw the football, force them to pass protect, force them to make their throws. That is how you're going to beat the Eagles.
Okay. Kudos. Hey, I'm about to tell you my 3 keys on offense and defense. Like, first thing, run the ball. Yeah, this is the 32nd ranked rushing defense. So why not run the ball? I don't care if Jalen Hurts throw for 1 time, 1 attempt. I don't care. Run the damn ball. But our coach going to swallow his ego, his pride, his baby? He's an XY receiver, by the way.
Right,
so he has a soft spot for throwing the damn ball. So we'll see. So run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. My second key is this: Jalen Hurts. If it's there, just be patient. Just trust that your offensive line will protect you. Just have a little bit more patience and hit the open guy. Just throw your wide receivers open, your tight ends open. Do not wait for them to be open. And my third key on the offensive side is this: Dallas Goedert. You talked about all this blitzing with Derwin James and trying to stop the run and stuff like that. So I feel like that Dallas Goedert could take advantage, just like Jared Cook probably could take advantage of our linebackers. I feel like that Dallas Goedert is that guy. So far since Zach Ertz's been gone, he's averaged over 70-something yards receiving in the 2 games. So he could catch the ball. So we just gotta be patient. Just let the game come to us and not try to be fancy, because we are playing at home. It's a lot of pressure when you play at home and you try to get that first home win.
Right.
So I really feel like that Dallas Goedert will play a big key. Besides the running game, it's not going to be the wide receivers. Like, I don't think that the wide receivers will probably have no more than 40 yards receiving a piece. Like Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and Rager, if he does play, or whoever comes in. I really don't feel like that our wide receiver is the key to victory. It's Dallas Goedert and that running game. And the Eagles had brought up on the 53-man roster Tyree Jackson, a 6'7", a ex-quarterback, but he turned into a tight end. And he is, like, off-season and the preseason, he was that guy. That's why the Eagles was so comfortable of letting Zach Ertz walk, because of the emergence of Tyree Jackson. And now he's back. He's actually going to be on the 53-man roster this Sunday. And we'll see what happens. So with Goddard and Jackson and Stahl and Rodgers, I feel like last week we ran a lot of 13 personnel also, and we ran out of that. We did some trick plays out of that. So that's the way to beat them on offense. On defensive side, you have to blitz. Austin Eckler is about to make our life hell. Let me see. Out of all the teams we played so far, the best running back, the complete running back that we about to face is Austin Eckler. Like, no lie. Not like it's not Zeke, it's not Pollard, it's not Fournette. It's like this is the best running back, combined, a dual threat running back that we are about to face. Because this dude is a beast for 3-4 years now. So he literally gonna test our linebackers. I probably would put like a safety to spy him. If I was a defensive coach, I literally probably would have a safety to spy him. But then who you gonna have to help a Mike Williams? A big body, 6'2", 6'3", big body.
6'4".
My bad, 1 inch. My bad, a 6'4", yeah, a big body wide receiver.
Yeah.
So are you going to trust Slade to actually lock Keenan Allen down? Who knows? It's all in the game scheme.
Right.
So I would definitely have either a safety spy or a Mike Epps to spy on your running back, but we'll see. But we have to hit Justin Herbert. He's a young guy. As good as he is, he's still in his second year, and I saw last week highlights, like he was getting flustered. He was getting like no time in the pocket. He was getting hit even when guys was wide open. He was just throwing them short. But so hit him, blitz, and make sure that the wide receivers don't beat you deep. The Philadelphia Eagles are very, very good and not letting wide receivers go behind them. So I'm confident that everything that we have is going to be underneath. No DB is going to get burnt. So with that being said, that I'm very confident that all our game plan is going to be underneath, like 10, 15 yards, nothing behind us. So we'll see. Any argument with what I just said?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think that's what the Eagles are going to try to do. But like I said earlier, I mean, if you're going to double somebody, or if you're going to keep a spy for the quarterback, or if you're going to keep a spy for a particular running back or a wide receiver, you're going to leave somebody else in a one-on-one situation. And that's where Justin Herbert's arm talent and his ability to make any throw on the field is going to come into play. So, I mean, that's what we're going to have to see. We're going to see who's going to execute better. Is the Eagles pass rush going to be able to get home? Are the Chargers going to be able to run the ball? Are they going to be able to throw the ball in the screen game to slow down that pass rush and then make throws over the middle? That's what this game is going to come down to. I mean, I really, truly believe the team who is able to run the ball more effectively in this football game and make the throws that are given to them, that's the team that's going to win.
Yep. I'm just hoping that your right side is bad. Like, that's what I'm hoping, because I feel like if we could get home, we face some good quarterbacks that are, the Tom Brady, the Dak Prescott, the Patrick Mahomes, the Matt Ryan, all veterans quarterback, besides Goff.
Jordan Howard is not going to eat because he is on IR. But yes.
But yeah, so look, I mean, we face some good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you say?
Yeah, one of your running backs is on IR, isn't he?
Yeah, Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. That's
right. Miles Sanders is on IR. I'm like, wait, hey, when did Jordan Howard get on IR? No, because Sanders, last week it was of Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, and
then the smaller one, Gainwell. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but look, I feel like that just experience-wise, the first 6 games was a brutal schedule for us, at least in our eyes.
Sure.
With the Falcons, with the Chiefs, with the Bucs. Like, we didn't know that these teams, like the Chiefs, was going to be
right.
You know what I mean?
Nobody did. Yeah,
exactly. So we come in the season saying the Falcons, who thought with Kyle Pitts and Ridley, and like, who thought that there was going to be
and Cordarrelle Patterson, right?
Yeah,
Cordarrelle Patterson's been crazy this year.
Also a running back, a wide receiver / running back, and now he's strictly a running back. But so with that being said, that we was like, if we could get a 3-3 at the first 6 weeks, we might be able to ride this shit, because we've been to the gauntlet, just like y'all. Like, y'all had the Ravens. What's right? The
The
Ravens,
Browns, the
the
Chiefs,
Browns,
the
the
Patriots,
Chiefs,
the
the Patriots.
Cowboys.
So
Yeah.
yes, so y'all went to Gauntlet. So
Yeah.
your mindset and my mindset are like the same. It's just like we went through this 8-week gauntlet, and
Yeah.
now we're about to go through our lighter part of of our schedule.
Right.
So yeah, so I respect your opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. Hey, look, this is why the game is played on the field,
Yeah.
not through YouTube, not
Absolutely.
through content creators,
Right.
not through it's played on the field.
No
So
doubt.
I'm about to get you out of here. Your score prediction and who wins on Sunday. And you know what? Who's your MVP, offense and defense?
Okay. Yeah. So, I already picked the Chargers to win this game, so I have to stay consistent with that. I do think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I do think the Chargers are going to get a lead early, and they are going to make Jalen Hurts throw the football a lot more.
Mhm.
And it's going to be close, but I think because of that, they're going to be able to win this game. It's going to be 31-24 Chargers in this game. So it's going to be good. I expect it to be very entertaining, but I think the Chargers are going to win this one.
31-24, you said it?
Yeah, 31-24.
All right. So who's your
And then
MVP on
MVP,
offense?
yeah, on
Yeah.
on offense, I like I said, it's going to be a big day for Austin Eckler. I think it's going to be a big all-purpose game, and that's the type of running back he is. He's one of the best pass-catching running backs in the NFL, and he's running incredibly effectively, especially behind the left side of the offensive line. I expect that to happen a lot. I think he's going to have 230 all-purpose yards between running and receiving, and he's going to have 2 touchdowns. And on defense, I think Derwin James is going to be the highlight here. He's going to have an interception, a sack, and a forced fumble with 10 tackles in this game.
Damn, man. You know what? Hey, I'm about to go to Vegas right now because my guy told me to put my money on chart and gave me the stat lines and everything. Yo, that's pretty good. If that happens, the Eagles are getting beat. Like, it probably blown out. If we let Eckler get 200 plus all-purpose yards, we are struggling, and this is going to be a long game. But my offense, all right. So I have the Eagles 27-21. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not going to be a blowout on either side. I feel like that a defense has to make a key stop. It's going to be a defensive game because just like the Chiefs, that when we went in there, I was like, the defense has to make a stop.
Yeah,
we stopped ourselves by stepping out of bounds and then coming back inbounds and catching a touchdown, which was wave, and that kind of threw the whole game out of the, for the rest of the day. So, but I feel like with both teams could run the ball very, very well. But both teams sucks in stopping the run very, very well. But both teams, their secondaries are very, very good as far as passing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that one turnover might flip this whole game around. So my offensive MVP has to be Jalen Hurts. Has to be Jalen Hurts. I'm going to put this game on his shoulder. Yes, I could say Nick Sirianni because he tells Jalen Hurts what to do and stuff like that. But Jalen Hurts need to make great decisions this upcoming Sunday. Just be patient in the pocket. I hope he watched all 22 because we all did. And we saw him just running around with his head cut off when no one was chasing him. So he was seeing ghosts. So if he's patient enough, he could probably, I'm not going to say, hey, we're going to throw all over y'all, but Dallas Goedert and Jackson and Stahl, somebody will be open in the middle because like you said, that Derwin James, he probably come on the blitz. I mean, you'll probably blitz a lot more. But so Jalen Hurts.
Well, no, they're not going to blitz a lot in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, they want to keep him in the pocket, and they want to try to get pressure without blitzing. They really need to stay sticky in coverage and force Jalen Hurts to make the perfect throws.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then on defense, Josh Sweat. Like last week he had 2 sacks. He got 3.5 for the season. So we about to see, how his confidence is.
Yeah.
He got 2 sacks last week. Hey, let's go hunting. We at home. And that's another reason why I'm giving this an advantage to the Eagles because we are at home. They know the fans. They know the fans want a home game, man. I'm telling you right now. I know we won 3 games all on the road, and we lost, 5, at home. But I feel like that this might be that game that we kick down the door for real and win one home game. So Josh Sweat, I need you, because Cox and Hargrave is about to get double teamed. One of them will get double teamed. So Sweat, especially on your right side, he needs to go eat. He needs to go eat. Because your left side, Barnett, is going against your strength right now. So Sweat will be going against your weak link, just like he did last week. Because Sweat went against Sewell, and he got barely a shoestring sack. But Sweat went against this bad, right side, and he ate 2 sacks, which opened the floodgates for the other Eagles to eat. But hey, look, 27-21. Your score is
24. Yeah.
31-24. So we both got a 6 point.
7 points. Yep.
6-7 point type again. All right. Look, man. Hey, one last time, man. This was a blast, man. I enjoy you being on this channel. Thank you very much. You have enlightened me in some information, some deep secrets. So I'm about to call Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon once I get off of this, and let them know exactly what you told me so we can get an advantage tomorrow. So one last time, just tell them a little bit about you. And matter of fact, this guy right here is an Army veteran, just like me. He served our country. So look, all fandom aside, anybody that served our country deserve applause and support. So please go check his channel out. Go check his network channel out and sub him up. And even if you gotta troll him, I don't care. But just go sub him up and and see what he's about, because his network does cover all 32 teams, including the Eagles, Cowboys. So just go check him out. So go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, so David Drugemeyer, Locked On Chargers podcast, and like you said, work for the Locked On Podcast Network, which has a podcast for every NFL team, every NBA team, college football, MLB. Thank you. We're on every streaming platform you can imagine. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on Google, we're on Odyssey. Wherever you want to find your podcast, we are there. We are also on YouTube. Please check out the channel Locked On Chargers. It was a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you inviting us, and hope we see a phenomenal game tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Me too. And I almost forgot. Yes, daylight saving times is tomorrow. The clock turns back 1 hour at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time that is for everybody else. But at 2 a.m., the clock does go back an hour. So our game is at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. So, hey, y'all having an extra hour of sleep. I need it. Hey, you might need it. Who knows? But look, if you're not subscribed to my channel, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help your boy on the road to 2K, But hey, I also do play-by-play every Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagle fans that can't watch the game, that can't hear the game. So at least you could turn into my channel, even if we're a couple seconds behind, a couple minutes behind. But guess what? You can't watch it anyway. So why not just tune in and hear what I gotta say? So that is my say. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. But as always, you know how we end this channel. Go Birds, beat the Chargers.